We're back with a hey, another video. I, so soon, I know it's crazy, but here we are. Ninjas, let's go. This is one of my favorite decks for real. Like actually, I love this deck. It's so fun. Um and this is them in 2023. Like how good is it? Why should you play it? Why not? I think so. I think you should play it. 100%. But let's go over it. Let's go over it. Um If you're here for just a deck list, because I know some people just want a deck list, there is going to be one down in the description. Please, before you before you just copy that and run away, um, subscribe? Question mark? Maybe like the video? Smile? Just a thought. You know, just a thought. Just a thought. Anyway, let's go. Ninjas, they've been around for a while. They've been around for since the beginning, from the age, from the dawn. They Ninja's been here, all right. We started with the very first ninjas, you know, the the armed ninja. You flip, you target a face up spell, you get rid of it. Based, you know, cool. Order of Chaos. That's when you're what you think of ninjas today. Order of Chaos. Hanzo. Hanzo is in this set. This is when he came out, and you know, that's he's the OG, the base, the most awesome ninja. And then all the way up to Photon Hypernova, one of the most recent sets, released 2023 this year, had ninja support in it because just so awesome. And Hypernova support was really good as well. So yeah, so speaking of Hypernova support, here are the last two bits of support that we've gotten from Darkwing Blast and Photon Hypernova. Okay, so Darkwing Blast had some crazy cards in. It had Tobari the Sky Ninja, had Kagero the Cannon Ninja. It had Notebook of Mystery, which is such an insane card. Genuinely such an insane card. Had Ninjitsu Art Iron Digger. It had, I believe that was it from. Oh no, it had Mitsu the Insect Ninja. Comes in Starlight, by the way. Um, and I believe that was it from Dabble. Oh no, it had Baku. It had Baku the Beast Ninja as well. That was Dabble. That was Dabble. Baku also great card. And then Photon Hypernova had Jioh the Gravity Ninja, and Meizen the. What was Meizen? Meizen might have been Dabble. Meizen was Dabble, I think actually. Um, but Photon Hypernova had the other fusion, Yagamura. Um, but regardless, both fusions from the two sets, both very good. And this deck, genuinely, just pick it up. Like it's cheap. People open these sets a lot, and people do not want these ninja cards, or they didn't. Like this is a cheap deck to pick up. You can do it. Like you just need. If you opened these sets, you have these cards. Genuinely, Tabari was a common, Kagero was a common, Joe was a common, Yagamura was a common, Baku was a super. Like Notebook of Mystery is ultra, Meizen is ultra, Mitsu is ultra. Like that's it. Like you can pick up this deck for cheap, genuinely. It's so fun. Just play it. Like it's fun. But does it stand up? Is it fun and good? You know? Yes. That's the answer. Yes. Yes, yeah. The answer is yes. The deck is good. Like all of these cards on screen are really good. All of them are really good. So starting from left to right, we've got Kagero the Cannon Ninja. Okay, so on normal summon, special summon, or flip, so just if she hits the field or flip face up, including when she's attacked from face down, she reborns a ninja from your hand or graveyard in face down defense. So, you know, insane. Literally like normal summon reborn. That's that. What's not to like on that? And if that wasn't enough, um, decent stats, like 2,000 defense, 1,600 attack points. Um, but if that effect wasn't enough, when she's in the graveyard, if your opponent targets a face down card or ninja monster you control, just that, then you can return what they targeted to the hand, special summon Kagero in face down defense position from your grave. So she recycles herself because now she's in face summoned and face down defense. She's gonna flip. She's gonna reborn something. So you're going to get more advantage off of your opponent targeting your stuff. This is really good against Runic. This let me had a really nice matchup against Nichirio Runic back when that was a deck, because they would target a ninja with like Flashing Fire or Freezing Curse, and I'm like, okay, Kagero from the grave, bounce the target, special summon back my Kagero. They miss their targeting, they miss their effect, so they don't mill from the top of my deck, and I get a free body, which is going to generate another free body, you know? And Kagero's a level 4, meaning you have great access into XYZ plays. So, genuinely, Kagero is such a crazy card. Um, Next one is Ninjitsu Art of Duplication. This is an older card. And what it does is that you tribute one it's continuous trap. You tribute one ninja monster, and then you special summon ninjas from your deck whose total levels are less than or equal to the level of the monster you tributed. Now, obviously, off the top of your head, you'd be like, oh, well, you have to get a big monster on the board for this to be good. No, no, this is part of your main play line. You normal summon Hanzo, you search this card, you set notebook, you set duplication, and that's your main play. Because when you activate duplication, you can summon 2 copies of Tobari, because yep, they can be the same names, and you can also summon a level 2. So either Mitsu or you can summon Green Ninja. Alternatively, you can summon a Tobari and a Baku if you want to recycle resources. You have stuff in the graveyard and you can keep stuff going. But yeah, so double Tobari and Green Ninja. And then you can use one of the Tobari's effects to quick effect fusion summon into the Meizen. So and you still keep another body on board. So that's really good. Alternatively, you can just duplication into another level 4. If you're mid game, you're not at the very start. You don't need to instantly make a Meizen. You can just duplication Hanzo off into another Hanzo to trigger its effect, or summon Kagero to then reborn back the Hanzo. So actually, you went +1 instead of instead of neutral. Uh, so duplication is crazy. And if you have a Jioh on the board, he's a level 8. You, you're going plus 1,000,000 off of duplicating Jioh. So definitely, really good card. Not run at more than 1, but you don't need to run more than 1 because you just don't need to. Right, and then next guy, this guy in the middle, he is the heart and soul of your deck. This is Meizen, the Battle Ninja. This dude's crazy. Genuinely, this dude's crazy. Guy's got 3 effects, and all of them are good. So you summon him by contact fusing. He just needs 2 ninjas with different types, and you can contact fuse with face downs. So if you have 2 ninjas on the board that are different types, bop, you have a Meizen. And most of your ninjas are different types. The only ones that share a type are Green Ninja, Hanzo, and Kagero. That's the most common trio of shared types you'll come across, which are all warrior. But everything else is different types, unless you're playing some of the out there ones. His first effect is that when your opponent activates a card or effect, he can special summon a ninja from your deck in face up attack or face down defense. No, face up defense or face down defense position. Crazy. So your opponent does anything, you just get special ninja. Free advantage. Even works when it just means also your opponent can't even try and preemptively remove him. Like, say your opponent has an imperm, right? And for the start of their turn, they go, okay, imperm target Meizen. Turn off the Meizen for the rest of the turn. Valid. But you still get to chain Meizen to that imperm. You still get to summon your ninja. You still get something out of your opponent trying to turn off. You actually, you plus. It's crazy. But your main play off of Meizen is going to be summoning Jioh, the Gravity Ninja. Because Jioh, on summon, targets 2 monsters on the board and flips them face down. And if they were your opponent's monsters, he flips them face down permanently, like Floodgate Trap Hole. And that, my friends, is crazy. Do you know the things people would do to you just like lock off zones, essentially. You're just playing like, face down Kashtira. Like, maybe that's why I like the deck. You go against a synchro deck. Oh, they have a tuner? Nah. You go against, again, using Nichirio Runic as an example. When they summon Hugin, the minute they put a Camilla on board, and activate that Camilla's effect, when they would do that, I'd go Meizen, special Jioh. You book the Camilla, you book the Hugin, and now suddenly their Camilla's face down, gone. Their Hugin is face down, gone. Their extra monster zone is now used up because the Hugin is still there. so they cannot summon to the extra monster zone anymore, turning off every single runic summon. Crazy, crazy, and you can do that with, it's crazy because Jioh, like Kagero, also triggers on normal or flip summon as, or not, no, sorry, not flip summon, flip. So as well. And so if your opponent only has one monster, what you can do is you can just target their monster and target Jioh, and then book both of them, and you can flip your own monsters that have been booked with Jioh's effect. So then next turn, if they extend past that you booking them, you just flip up Jioh, bop, it's two more books. It's crazy. This guy, Jioh, is nuts. And you get to summon off Meizen for free in defense position. It's so good. Jioh has another effect as well, where when something is flip summoned, you get to just pop a card in the field, which is a bit busted. Yeah, so then Meizen's other effect, his second effect, is that you cannot target him for an attack whilst you have another face down monster. Uh, Good, just good, because you're gonna have face down monsters, Or you can, if you don't, you can make one, or you can summon one off of Meizen. And a lot of the times, those face down monsters are going to trigger because your opponent attacks into them and they flip and then they trigger. And if that's Kagero, she's going to summon another face down monster. So your opponent has to go through a lot of hoops to actually get Meizen off the board if they're not just like hijing it. So he sticks around. And him sticking around is an amazing thing because that ties into his third ability where he just lets all your ninjas direct attack. Yeah, that thing about Hugin staying in the extra monster zone, you have to get rid of it to attack them direct to, deal damage. No, you don't. You just leave it there. You just you just lock their zones with Jioh, and then just leave them there. You just hit directly all the way over them. It's crazy. This card is broken. This card is insane, and it's so easy to make. Just two ninjas, any two ninjas. This card's busted. Like, yeah, one play you can do, right? So the equip spell that came in Darkwind Blast, Ninjitsu Art Iron Digger, what it does is you equip it to a monster, that monster becomes a ninja, that monster gains 500 attack points, and then Iron Digger has an effect where you can banish a card from your ninja or ninjitsu art from your graveyard to pop a card in the field. We're going to go over this more later. But what you do is you could just equip like your own, like Fenrir or Nibiru, with Iron Digger. It now becomes a ninja monster. It can now attack directly because if you have a Meizen on the board. I've done this. My opponent has somehow given me a Nibiru token. I've just equipped the token with with the equip spell, had a Meizen, and just hit them direct for big damage. I've done it with Fenrir. Like, it's crazy. Meizen is broken. Meizen is so good. Um, yeah. Anyway, next card, Baku the Beast Ninja. This card, not on the same level as Meizen, but still good, right? So, what its effect is if it's special summoned or flip summoned, you can target one ninja or ninjitsu art in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. So this is really good for recycling, this is really good for your grind game. And its second effect is when it's added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon itself. Obviously that will trigger the first effect to add back. So that's just a nice loop that you can do, meaning that if you just add this back into your hand off of any other effect, you get to then add back another resource. So Baku's always plussing you when he hits the board, and him being on the board is good because it's free material for Meizen. So Baku's a good card, definitely a good card, and he really ties into Notebook of Mystery, which is the last card here. Ninjitsu Art Notebook of Mystery is such an insane card. What it does, a quick play spell, right? Quick play spell. And its effect is, if your opponent controls a card, this is the only bad part on the card, by the way. If your opponent controls a card, you can set one ninjitsu art and one ninja monster from your deck and one from your graveyard. Okay? That's its effect. That's what it does. You are allowed to just set one if you don't have any cards in your grave. You can just set one ninjitsu art or ninja from your deck instead of setting one, because you have to set one of each, right? Like you can't set two ninjas, you can't set two ninjitsu arts. But if you have a target in your grave and you target in your deck, you can set one from deck, one from grave. If you have no targets in your graveyard, you can set just one from deck. And if you don't have any targets in your deck somehow, you can just set one from graveyard. The only caveat is your opponent has to control a card, which, let's be honest, that's not hard. It does mean you just can't use it going first, unless you get impermed. If you get impermed, Your opponent imperbing you, if you have notebook in hand, plus like lets you plus. You can profit off of your opponent imperming you, or Nibiruing you, or phantasmaying you, or or bestialing you, even though you're not really gonna get bestialed in this deck. That is this card's so good. So after turn one, when you have a card in your grave and a card in your deck pretty much at all times, right? This card is always a +1. Every single time you activate it, it's a +1. It's just you get a summon from deck and a set from grave, or a summon from grave and a set from deck. Like, it's crazy. This card's so good. And here we go. Here is here is the loop I mentioned. Did I mention? But this is a loop, right? With Iron Digger, Baku, and Notebook of Mystery. Okay. So with Notebook of Mystery, you activate the effect of Notebook of Mystery. You set from your deck a Ninjitsu Art Iron Digger, and you set from your graveyard any ninja monster, any ninja, doesn't matter what. Then you flip up Iron Digger, you equip it to a monster that you want to get rid of. You then use Iron Digger's effect. You banish Baku the Beast Ninja from your graveyard. You then target one card in the field. Normally, it is the monster that you want to get rid of. And then you destroy one card in the field. You destroy that card. So you then destroy the monster that Ninjitsu Art is equipped to. The Iron Digger is equipped to. And Iron Digger then hits the graveyard because it was equipped to that monster, right? And it's like, oh, why would you waste your equip spell? Well, Iron Digger has an effect where when Iron Digger hits the grave, it gets to target one ninja monster that is banished, either special summon it and face down, or add it to your hand. So you can, if you have another ninja that you want to special, go for it. But what you're going to do is you're going to add back the Baku the Beast Ninja that you banished for cost to your hand. And then Baku, because it's now added to your hand by a card effect, or except by drawing it, is going to trigger. Baku's going to special summon itself. So now you have two bodies on the board, by the way. And Baku's effect is going to trigger, adding back one Ninjitsu Art or Ninja card. Then you can add back the Notebook of Mystery. So now you have the Notebook of Mystery back in your hand that you started with, but you also have destroyed a monster, or another card if you've, maybe linked off one of your monsters, or you got rid of the monster that Iron Digger was equipped to, or you just got rid of it some other way. So, but at minimum, you've destroyed a card with Iron Digger's effect, and you have two ninja bodies on board that you can use to make a Meizen, you can use to link summon. One of them will be face down, but so primarily you're using it to make a Meizen, or you can use it to make Yagamura, and Yagamura on summon is a banish, so that's more removal. So you are, you've gone +3, like you've destroyed a monster, and you've gained two cards, but you've got your card back in hand, so you haven't actually lost any cards in the process. So you've gone +3. You've gone this one small loop of interaction goes +3. It's crazy. And you get to do it again every single turn. You get to do it next turn because guess what? You have the Notebook of Mystery back in your hand. You have the Iron Digger in your graveyard, and you just get to summon from deck instead. Like, it's not because you don't have to summon the Baku and set the Iron Digger off of Notebook of Mystery. You just need the Baku to stay in the graveyard. It means that you just need to set the Iron Digger. So you get a free summon from deck every single turn. Once you've started looping this, it's absolutely nuts, And this is how you're going to start winning games, because you're going to start gaining advantage over your opponent. You're going to start getting these pluses over and over and over again. You're going to just out-resource your opponent, and that is why this deck can do well. That's why this deck can plus. You have niche interactions, you have unique interactions with Jioh, and you have and Meizen, and you have ways of generating a lot of advantage with things like Notebook of Mystery, looping Notebook of Mystery. You've got Ninjitsu Art of Duplication, which is going to net you advantage. You've got Hanzo and Baku that are always netting you advantage every time they hit the board. This loop and these cards are good. They are good cards, and I definitely recommend just trying them. Yeah, and here's more. Like, it feels rewarding to play. Like, it just once you're playing it and you're playing well and you're gaining all these little small advantages over your opponent, it feels really good. Genuinely, you come out of a duel that you win, just feeling, yes, I outskilled my opponent, or yes, I interacted with my opponent at the correct times and therefore I won. It's just so satisfying to play. And if that's the type of deck you want to play, play this. Play ninjas. Genuinely play ninjas. Um, it's so fun. Like, I don't know if you can tell by how I'm talking about this. It's fun. It's very fun. Okay. I just have like a good time playing this deck. Just have a good time. And like I said earlier, it's cheap. You know, everyone's opened those sets. These cards are cheap. Plus, you can rarity bump this deck. You know, you can get the cards cheap at low, you know, but base rarities. But Hanzo has a secret. Hanzo has an ulti. Mitsu has a starlight. Tobari has supers in an OTS. Um, I think that's it for now. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, the deck has price points that you can bump out if you do want to rarity bump it. You know, I'm not affording Meizen Starlights. Not Meizen. I'm not affording Mitsu Starlights anytime soon. I don't think I'm affording Hanzo Ultis anytime soon. But I have secret Hanzos, and they look clean. They are so good. And yeah, can win locals 100%. Source me. I've done this. I have won locals 100% with ninjas. Gaming. You know, this deck gaming. Like, especially when you like first, if you know the deck really well when you first bring it, your opponents are gonna be like, huh? It does what now? They, huh? And it'll probably take them a while to learn it as well, considering, you know, it's not a deck that you see a lot. Um, and on top of that, the deck can just play like non-engine. Like, it's not a rogue deck that takes 40 cards. It's a rogue deck that takes like 25. Like, in my list, I, let's see how many non-engine I'm playing. I'm playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 14. Well, I guess if you count Rotor and Instant Fusion as engine, I'm playing 13 non-engine. And that's like, you know, that's a fairly decent amount. You're going to see that. You're going to see that non-engine. Meaning you can tech out your deck to whatever, right? Like, you can tech out your deck to however you kind of want. You can change your non-engine for the formats. And yeah, anyway, here's the list. Here's the list. One Baku, I've already explained this. You don't need more than one because you're looping him. Two Green Ninja. Honestly, you could cut this down to one. I haven't really had an issue with it at two. It's nice to see. Green Ninja, I haven't really gone over much, but basically, if it can summon itself for free if you special a monster and face up, and then it books a monster that you specialed, and then if it hits grave, you can book something or flip something face up. So it's just nice, just nice interruption. Jioh, we've gone over. Kagero, we've gone over. Mitsu specials itself for free if you have any ninja or face down. So really, really nice for making Meizen. And then if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can flip a face down monster face up. If that face down was a ninja, then it negates it. So decent. Lots of lists do run three. I don't. I actually, and same with Kagero. Lots of lists run one Kagero. I prefer 2-2. Um, I like the second. I like getting a Kagero in graveyard as fast as possible for the targeting protection, but then I like having a second Kagero in deck so that I can gain a lot of advantage with it when summoning it off of Meizen. Mitsu just doesn't come up. Genuinely, I rarely use the monster effect negate, but it can come up. It can, but nah. Experiment, play around, but this is what I've had a lot of success with. Hanzo, obvious 3 of. On normal summon searches, on special summon searches, go for it. Tobari, good card. Quick effect fusion summon, so that's your main way of doing it on your opponent's turn with duplication. But also can discard itself to special a ninja from hand. It's nice if you draw Jioh and Tobari, because you can just special Jioh, book 2 things. Actually pretty decent going second. And also cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect the turn it was special summoned or flip face up, so can actually chump block rather well. Instant Fusion just summons Yagamura from your extra deck. Basically a free ninja name to make a Meizen with, and Yagamura is a banish on summon, so good. Notebook we've gone over, Iron Digger we've gone over, Prospy, deck can play it, like look at that extra deck, you can play Prosp, you can play Prosp, and finding exactly like the correct ninjas is really nice, like getting a Hanzo off of Prosperity is great, picking up that crucial bit of non-engine that you might be missing, also really good. Yeah, just Prosp nice. Rota grabs Hanzo, grabs Kagero, that's what you're grabbing off of it. Dancing Leaves, Ninjitsu Art of Dancing Leaves, so this came out in Darkwing Blast, and its effect is very simple. You just target a face down or ninja monster on the field. So if you've booked your opponent's monster, you can, book theirs. You can do them. And then you just get to tribute it special ninja from deck. Also, I think that music is turning a bit loud, so let me turn that down. So yeah, Dancing Leaves. Yeah, just tribute a face down or a ninja, special ninja from deck. But you can target any on the field. So if you Book of Moon your opponent's monster, and you can just like just send it away with Dancing Leaves, very funny. You can do the same with whatever you flip face down with Jioh. Or off of Green Ninja, you can do that as well. Or you can tribute your own Green Ninja that's on the field, and now your Green Ninja becomes a Book of Moon, and you get to special something off of Dancing Leaves. Pretty nice. Duplication we've gone over, and then it's just non-engine, whatever non-engine you want. I do definitely recommend playing Book of Moon because it's really good in this deck. Crazy, I know. Um, yeah, like Ash good, Fenrir is Fenrir, Nibiru is Nibiru, whatever the format is, cool buy, cool buy. Side is your side deck. The only ninja card in the side deck is this one right in the middle, Hidden Village. I like it for grind games because it basically says whenever you summon a ninja once per turn, you can add a ninja back or ninjitsu art back from your grave to hand. You just can't activate it that turn. And then it's got battle protection. So I like it in grind games, but you could definitely cut it. That one's optional. Extra deck, 3 Meizen, 3 Yagamura. There's no reason not to just play 3 of each. You rarely go through 3 of each. You're probably banishing one of Prosperity, but like I just feel like you could cut one of each maybe for extra deck space, but I don't think you need to. Um, the final fusion is the big insect fusion that came out in Photon Hypernova. I have this in my extra deck since I started playing the deck. I've never summoned it once. It's hilarious. You're not gonna. It's basically right. You can summon it by tributing an insect monster that's with 2,000 or more defense that's equipped with an equip spell. That is specifically Mitsu and Iron Digger. So if you do that, you can special summon it, and then if your opponent has a field spell, it nukes the board. So it can come up in niche scenarios. It was better when Runic was more of a deck, with Naturia Runic, because you just summon it and nuke their board. Um, but if your opponent has a field spell, bye bye. Then Blade Armor Ninja, two like warriors, gives a ninja a second attack. So him and Meizen, uh, that's not actually game because Meizen's 25 and Blade Armor's 22. But giving your Meizen a second attack means you're hitting for 5,000 directly. And then Blade Armor is a ninja, so he hits for 22 directly. So that plus any other ninja on board is game. Um, Cowboy is Cowboy. We play him because his attack position effect is really cool. Bagooska, like, I don't need to explain rank 4s. Donna and SP, you know, removal. Linguriboh is there as a holdover for when people started Ibly locking. Like you could just replace that with whatever. Like Dark Angel could be there. Not Dark Angel. Linguriboh could be there to deal with Dark Angel. But it's like if you have the space, why not? So that you don't just lose to some random deck that Ibly locks you or Dark Angels you. Um, and then the final card there is Saizo. So this ninja, oh yeah, ninja, he needs 2 ninjas to link summon. He cannot be targeted for an effect or an attack whilst he points to a ninja. So you stick him with a Meizen, and then you've got a pretty defensive wall there. And his effect is that once per turn you can set a ninjitsu art from deck. So that's just pretty nice. You can turn 2 ninjas into a Saizo, set your Dancing Leaves from deck, set Notebook of Mystery from deck, set Iron Digger from deck. Very nice utility. Is a nice monster to put your ninjas into when you have a lot of them on board, which sometimes you do. Yeah. So yeah, that is. I think I've kind of explained everything that I need to explain, you know. But as a conclusion, yes, I do like this deck is not meta by any means, right? I'm not gonna lie to you and say yes, tier 1 meta threat, and it can struggle against some of the meta when you don't draw non-engine, right? If you haven't put the correct non-engine in your deck, you will probably struggle against the meta. Because they have a better deck than you, realistically. But it's very good rogue-wise. It's a very strong deck, and if your opponent is unprepared, you will definitely do well. You can 100% win locals. You could probably make day 2 at YCS if you draw well, and it's really, really fun. Like, just play the deck and you'll see what I mean. Like, genuinely, it's so fun. It's so good. Just, yeah, yeah, thanks for watching everyone. Like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll see. Probably another one of these. Leave a deck. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll find a deck. We'll find a deck or something. Who knows? Adios.